Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, I would like to explore essential topic in language studies, which was developed by Halliday and his theory called Systemic Functional Linguistics or SFL. SFL has three main systems. They are transitivity, and then mood, and theme rheme. Now let's dive into the next part of the explanation. Transitivity system. Transitivity is part of additional metafunction. It represents experience or events. And in transitivity, the clause plays an important role because a clause is like a small story, tell us what is happening, that's the process, who is involved, that's participant, and in what situation, that's circumstances. There are three elements of the transitivity. The first is process, and second participant, and the third is circumstances. Process refers to the action and it of an verb, and participants deal with the people or thing involved, and circumstance is extra detail like time, place, and reasons. Now let's move into the type of the processes. According to Halliday's theory and the explanation by Amy Emilia 2014, there are 6 types of processes in the transitivity system. The first is material process, consists of process, actor, goal, and then mental process, consists of sensor, process, and phenomenon, and then verbal process, consists of sayer, process, verbiage, and then relational process consists of carrier, process, attribute, and then behavioral process consists of behavior and process, and the last is existential process consists of process and existence. Now let's jump into the analyzing types of the process. The first is analyzing material process. Material process show action that we can see, touch, or measure in real life. The first is Basuki is reading a book. Basuki is actor, and then is reading is material process, and ebook is goal. And the next is rambutans are bought by me. This is a passive sentence. Remember that when a sentence or clause change passive or active to passive is not change the position of the actor and goal. So the rambutan is goal, and then arbot is a material process, and then by me is actor. And the next example is Andika sings a song. Andika does the action, it's called an actor. Sings is material process, and a song is called arrange. Why? Because it's only describe the activity, and it's not a goal that something affected by action. Now, the mental process. The mental process refers to the process of thinking, feeling, and perceiving, and consists of the three elements: affective, cognitive, and perceive. And the example, we love jogging. We is a participant that loves something, then it's called sensor. And then meanwhile, love is affective process. And then jogging, the thing that the participants love, therefore is called phenomenon. And the next is, do you see helicopter? And this is uh, question sentence, interrogative sentence. The word you is participant that perceives something, and see is the verb that perceiving through senses, so it's called perceived mental process. And then the helicopter is phenomenon. Meanwhile, do is not analyzed in transitivity because it doesn't express experiential meaning, and its only function as grammatical marker. And next is a verbal process. Verbal process is a process of saying or communicating. The example, I asked the teacher a question. I is the one who asks is called sayer, and then ask is ask a communication process in the form of a question, so it's called a verbal process. And the teachers, the person who is being asked, it's called receiver, and questions, the content of the question is called verbiage. Next is relational process. Relational process is the process of being or having an attribute. The first is Julia is pretty. Julia is the person who has the quality, it's called carrier, and then is on the relationship between the subject and its quality, so it's called the relational process. And the pretty, the quality or characteristic given to Julia. And last is Agus is the winner. Agus is token, and then is relational process, and the winner is value. And the next is behavioral process. Behavioral process represents actions that are observable but originate from mental or emotional states, bridging the gap between the physical and psychological experience. And the example is the boy laughed loudly. The boy is the one who performed behavior, so it's called behavior, laugh, the visible behavior. So it's a behavioral process, and loudly is how the behavior was expressed, so it's called circumstances of manner. And last is existential process. Existential process is a process that expresses the existence or presence of something. And here's the example, there is a cat in the house. Is refers to the verb expressing existence, so it's called the existential process. A cat is the entity or the participant that exists, or the thing being said to the exist and the house, so it's called the existent. And the location where the entity exists in the house is the circumstance of place, uh, and the location is the in the house. And the word there is not to be analyzed because it's not the participant. Let's move into the mood system. Mood system is part of the additional interpersonal metafunction that is used to show the social relationship between the speaker and the listener. The mood structure, there are two big categories. There are mood and residue. The mood element consists of the subject and finite. For example, you are you, close the door. And then residue consists of three elements, predicator, complement, and adjunct. For example, working hard, the book, every day. And the type of mood consists of declarative, interrogative, imperative, and exclamative. Now let's move into the analyzing mood system. My sister cooked rice. My sister is subject, cook is finite, and predicator, and rice is complement. Uh, Subject and finite belong to the mood, and predicator and complement belong to the residue. And the next example is rice is cooked by my sister. Rice is subject, And is finite because it's a linking verb, and cook is predicator, and by my sister is complement. Rice and is belong to the mood, and cook by my sister or predicator or complement is belong to residue. Now let's move into the theme rheme. Theme is the initial part of the clause, and rheme is the remaining part of the clause. And there are type of the theme. Type of the theme consists of unmarked theme and marked theme. Marked theme unmarked theme means that the theme is the subject of the clause. This is the most common or natural structure in English sentence. For example, she is reading a book. Here, the word she is the theme because it's come first and tell us what the clause is about. This is considered normal or natural because the subject naturally appears at the beginning of the sentence. Now, a marked theme happens when the theme is not the subject. It could be an adverbial phrase that shows the time or place. For example, in the library, she is reading a book. In the sentence, in the library is the theme. It comes before the subject to give emphasis on where the action happens. So it's called marked because the theme is marked for emphasis or focus. Now let's move into the thematic progression. There are three main types of thematic progression. The first is the constant theme patterns. It's the same theme continues in the next clause. For example, the cat is sleeping. The cat looks tired. The theme is the cat stay the same. Second, the linear theme patterns. The theme of one clause become the theme of the text. For example, the sun is shining. It makes the day bright. The word sun in the rheme turns into the next theme it. Finally, split rheme patterns. One rheme split into several new themes. For example, the project has two goals: education and research. Education helps students, research improve method. One idea developed into several new themes. That's all of the explanation of the transitivity, mood, and rhyme theme. That's all. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.